Hi, I'm Keith Spera from NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune. Welcome to Let's Talk. My guest today is the captain of the largest crew in all of Carnival. On the Saturday before Mardi Gras Day, she leads more than 3,600 female riders along the Uptown route in the Iris Parade. Since she inherited the captainship as part of a family legacy, she has led a revitalization of Iris despite a disastrous early decision and the accidental decapitation of the crew's signature butterfly ferry. She is Captain K, aka Kristin Delaney. Kristin, welcome to Let's Talk.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about that disastrous early decision. Now, like I said, as I said in the intro, you've done great things with Iris. It's a tremendous success. You guys are the biggest crew in Carnival, more than 3,600 riders. You became the captain in 2010. Mm-hmm. So
yes,
2011 parade was
yes.
Your grandmother essentially handed you the reins. The parade's coming up. Your first one as captain. And tell me what happens. What was the forecast literally for that parade?
Horrific.
The forecast was
horrific.
Horrific.
So, and we're always known for it never rains on Iris. Okay, so it's always a beautiful day, Iris Saturday, right?
Always beautiful.
Except my very first year. So it's a Tuesday, and I'm in carpool line, waiting to drop off my children, and I'm listening to the radio, and they're saying it's going to be a horrible forecast. There's 95% rain, thunderstorms with lightning, and maybe even hail. So I'm like, this is not good on my very first year, right?
No.
So I call the guru of Mardi Gras, Arthur Hardy.
Arthur Hardy, publisher of the Mardi Gras Guide.
Yes. And we had a conversation, and he said, it doesn't look good, Kristin. I said, well, you always have the end. You talk to the weathermen. I mean, are they just trying to scare us? He says, I think you're going to have to do something. I said, what am I going to do? It's my first year. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to talk to. So I got home, and I talked to my grandfather and grandmother, and I said, we're going to have to move the parade. Well, that's unheard of. You know, that is unheard of, unspeakable. My grandpa says, nope. We're not going to move anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're rolling. It never rains on Iris.
That's the rule. Never rains on Iris.
That is the rule. So I went with it. Wednesday comes. The forecast is getting worse. You know, Thursday comes. Here it goes. Hail, thunderstorms. You know, I said, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm just going to go behind their back. Right. I am the captain, right?
Yes.
I am the captain. I'm going to own this.
You are empowered. That's right. I'm
going to own this. So I call my friend that I grew up with, Andrew Palumbo. He was sergeant then, and he had a lot to do with formations and getting us out there. So I said, well, maybe he can guide me. I said, Andrew, I need to move the parade. He says, girl, that's way above my pay grade. I said, well, can you find somebody in that pay grade? Because I got to do something. So then he connected me with Joe Valiente, and I owe him a lot. We got to be friends through this process, and he made it to where we could move up earlier.
Earlier in the day,
yeah, earlier in the day. So he said we can go at 10
instead of 11. Yeah.
10, yes, instead of 11. You know, we could have cleared the horrible thunderstorms by then, but it was still going to rain.
Yeah.
Well, I called my grandfather and I said, hey, guess what? We're going to move the parade till 10. There's no way to do that. How do you do that? I said, we put it on the internet. We call the news company. He says, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So that night,
let's just appreciate for a second the old school attitude of this is set in stone as if it were the 10 Commandments, and there's no other way that this organization can roll other than at its appointed time, and it's always been. Like,
exactly.
No changes.
No changes. And that's what he said. He says, if we put it on the internet, our identity will be stolen. I said, I called him Papa Johnny. Papa Johnny, Mama Joy, our identity is not going to be stolen. This is how we communicate.
Right.
So anyway, we did not happen to move because
did not move.
We did not move. He overrided me, and we ended up getting caught in a torrential downpour. It was horrible. The buses were stuck picking up people underneath the overpass. I was sopping wet. My kids were screaming. There were people all over just, mad at me. And I kept on thinking, I'm like, oh my God, this was not my fault. This was not my fault. But to make a long story short, everyone forgave me, and I said, this will never happen again. Well, fast forward to the following year, and it was the exact same forecast. The exact same. I couldn't have, made it more identical.
Right.
Well, guess what? Papa Johnny, Mama Joy, we're moving. So we ended up moving, and, it wasn't a question, and that's when it was my, Kristin, I got christened that year, the first year, but after that, I was captain.
You got christened.
I got christened, and
Kristin got christened.
Yes, exactly, and they let me be captain.
Well, so that was the thing. I mean, it was a mess that first year when you got rained out, but that kind of established, or it gave you the courage to establish yourself as captain and really take control of the crew and say, okay, this is now my organization. They've handed it off to me. I'm going to be that captain. Exactly. Lead it forward.
It gave me the confidence and the courage, and I got to know a lot of people through all this. I know who to talk to now.
You know who to talk. You know to make the call.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
From Arthur Hardy to
Andrew to Joe Valiente to.
Well, and so let's talk for a little bit about that family history. So. Iris started out in 1917 just as a vol. It didn't parade until the 40s or 50s, something like that. Yeah, there was an actual parade. Then the membership had dwindled down, and it kind of was shifted over to the woman that ran the crew of Venus at the time, right? And she was the one that kind of built Iris up initially and turned it into like a successful parading organization, right?
Well, the initial captain was Amantha Nungesser. She was the captain of Venus and Iris. So she had both of these crews. And you can only imagine what mountains this lady had to climb. This was before women could even vote. And she is running these two crews. Well, my great aunt, she happened to be Queen of Venus. And Amantha came to her and said, this is getting to be too much. I can't run Venus and Iris. Would you like to take over Iris? Back then there was 50 members. 50 members. And if you knew Aunt Irma, she loved Mardi Gras. She said absolutely. So she took it over and then grew it to 850 members. So she loved it more than anything. It was her life, and I mean, I would go to her house and her whole house would be filled with glitter and feathers. I thought I was in a fairy tale land. But she ended up becoming, the captain until 85, and then that's when my grandmother took over.
Miss Joy.
And then, yes, my Mama Joy. Yep. And then she ran it until 2010, and then here we sit.
So you were kind of, she always envisioned that you were going to take it over. I mean, you were kind of groomed, in a sense, to take over the crew. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. Oh, well, my grandma has 3 daughters, so, but none of them wanted to do it. So I was like, we are not letting this go. So then it became, when I was in I was a page, and then when I was in high school, they started kind of telling me what to do and how to do it, and then went off to college, came back, had kids, and then it was my turn. Once I was settled, she said, all right, it's yours. Kind of.
Once you were settled.
Yes.
Once you were settled. If you're just joining me, my guest today is Kristin Delaney, the captain of the crew of Iris, the largest organization in Carnival. So we say that, you're going to ride in 2024 with 3,600 riders, thereabouts, all women. One of the keys to that growth, I think, was when you guys in 2019 switched over to Kern Studios to build the floats, because that gave you the capacity to accommodate more riders, right? Tell me about what what that change has been like for you guys, just switching over to Kern Studios and how that's aided your parade.
Oh, well, it's been a blessing because, as you know, Kern, he runs all of Saturday. You know, he's got us first, then Tux, then Endymion. So it's a well-tuned machine to where he's got people in place to, you know, if anything does happen, you know, we're covered. I mean, and then the quality of his floats, they're just gorgeous. You know, he's innovative, and he's definitely helped us grow. I couldn't have done it anywhere else, honestly.
His ability to respond to disaster was tested right at the get-go the first year. Yeah. You guys, that first year, 2019, he built this beautiful 17-foot tall animatronic butterfly ferry. And 4 days before the parade, they are moving the butterfly ferry from the fabrication plant on the West Bank to the East Bank to line up for the parade. And the ferry had a bad encounter with a low-hanging tree.
Yes.
And was decapitated.
And was decapitated, yes. So could you imagine him calling me and telling me this, you know, right before the parade? He says, I got some bad news, but I'm going to fix it. I said, uh-oh, what's going on? He says, the ferry lost her head. I said, what do you mean? Like, can you explain this? And yes, he said, we were transporting her, and there was a low-lying tree, and her head was decapitated. He says, but it'll be fixed, I promise. And by the end of the night, they had it pasted back on, or however they do it. But it still needed to be, whatever magic. He did work a little magic there. But let me tell you, it was very scary, because again, that's my first year with him. So, you know, yeah, exactly. Right. I don't want to deal with this, but you know, you have to do it. That's it. It happened. You know, let's move on. Let's fix it, and you know. And
move on. And the ferry is now named Marie. For Marie Antoinette.
Yes, I think you gave her that name.
Did I? No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I think you did.
I mean, you know, it works. I mean,
yes,
it works.
Exactly.
It works. It works. All right, Marie Antoinette. Yeah, no, and again, you know, Iris. As a kid, I remember Iris, it was kind of, you know, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I mean, it seemed a little maybe stodgy or whatever, but I mean, you guys have definitely, you and your team, your officers, really have revitalized this crew. I mean, you've got, you know, the signature throws, you've got sustainable throws, I mean, and you've got this, you know, this huge membership. So, I mean, people want to be a part of the organization, which has got to be incredibly satisfying as a captain to know that you've got this many people that want to roll with you. I mean, my gosh. What's been the thing? Is there a single thing that kind of turned things around for Iris that made it become such a success?
I mean, obviously, there's not one thing that I could put my finger on and say, oh, this is what changed everything. I think it's just, you know, getting with the times and, you know, having really good communication, having fun throws. You know, I think good costumes, great floats. So there's not one thing, because people ask me that all the time, like, what did it? I was 15 years of blood, sweat, and tears. That's what did it, you know? That's what did it. And like you said, I have a wonderful team. I mean, this is not a one-man job, and it's
or one-woman job.
Or one-woman job.
Yeah.
It's not. So my team is wonderful. My lieutenants are wonderful. We're a big family, and everybody wants to be there. Everybody's happy, and it makes it, you know, it makes more people want to join. You know, when people get off the float and you see how much fun they've had. Like, oh, I'm going to do it next year, and oh, I have a friend who wants to do it, or an aunt, or you know, a niece. So that's how I think we've grown, because we're trying to make it a big party. You know,
success breeds success. Let's talk about some of these throws. I mean, you know, obviously different parades have their signature things. You guys. It's the sunglasses. That's the Iris throw. So we've got some beautiful pink ones right here. Which, let's see, can I?
And they look good on everyone.
Oh yeah, even me, nice. Oh yeah, those look good.
Oh yeah,
Stylish.
they'll fit over your glasses.
What's that? Let's see. They fit right over.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Oh yeah, so cool.
There you go. Now
so
you have
cool.
a shade of pink.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So no, that is definitely our signature, our hand-decorated sunglasses. That's what we're known for. We have a new float this year. It's a triple tandem, and it's the sunglass float. It's going to have screens on it, and with these beautiful eyes that blink, and reflector sunglasses around it. So I hope everybody looks for that on the parade route. And then we have our sustainables, like you mentioned. We were the first crew to partner with Grounds Crew, and we have Iris branded sustainable biodegradable throws like bug spray and popcorn, red beans, jambalaya, honey sticks, toothbrushes,
soap, which is key after a parade.
Exactly.
You need to clean up. So
right,
that's,
it smells delicious.
Yeah. So do you guys? I mean, y'all. Wow, what's that flavor? It's even got a little glitter on it.
Yeah. Hey, you can't have Mardi Gras without glitter. Right?
Soap, glitter. Well, and that's the thing. After every major parade, you look out on the route and you see so much stuff that isn't picked up. The beads and the cups that just go to waste. So it seems to me that these sustainable throws and these usable throws, that is the future, I think, as people become, I think people are starting to realize we don't need 500 plastic cups at our house,
Sure.
Maybe 100, but not 500, So I think that is the direction, and you guys are definitely at the forefront, at the vanguard of that movement toward these sustainable throws. And are they popular with your members? I mean,
absolutely. And most of our throws, they are, usable. Like we have our Kleenex, our cup, dish towels. So that's what, clips for your hair,
clip,
so it's things that are not going to end up on the ground, because nothing kills me more than when somebody spends thousands and thousands of dollars and they're excited about it, they throw it, and then people put their hand down and just let it drop, so it's not good for the environment, and it's not good for your pocketbook. So it's like I try, and we try to have throws that people want to take home, put in their bag, use for months, years, etc.
Absolutely. One signature item that you won't be throwing, but people can buy elsewhere, is this Iris branded vodka.
Yes, this is brand spanking new. We partnered with Masquerade Vodka, and we are now going to have Iris branded vodka, and it'll be in Martin's come next week.
Martin's Wine Cellar.
Yes.
And
so everybody's got to go get a bottle.
It's got gold flakes in it.
Yes. Gold flakes.
Even the vodka has glitter.
Yes, that's what we do.
Well, so going back, as a kid, I mean, you obviously your grandmother was involved in Iris, so I mean, you really, in a sense, had no choice but to be around Mardi Gras. Did you enjoy it from the get-go, or was it something that you kind of came to appreciate later in life?
I think that I just thought it was how everyone lived. I thought that was normal, to have ladies practicing their dances in your den, or to have feathers in the guest room and not be able to lay on the bed because costumes from years past just live there, So I never really thought it was. I thought everyone had sequins stuck to the bottom of their feet every time they walked through their houses. So it's been bred in me since I was little. Like I don't remember a time where I'd go to my grandma's house and not run upstairs to go dig through her doubloon collections. And it's so funny, she had so many that it would actually make the floor creak and bend in because of her doubloon collection. And I would be on a constant treasure hunt, what can I find next? And I remember playing in her plumes and, coming downstairs and my mom saying, "What did you do?" I was like, "I was in Mama Joy's guest room playing dress up." So it's like, and then I was a page from the time I can remember. And so it's always been a part of my life.
And now it's your full-time job.
It's my full-time job.
Your full-time job.
And that's what people don't understand, it'll be May, and I'm like, I got to go to a Mardi Gras meeting. I have to go work on some costume sketches. They're like, you're already doing Mardi Gras? I said, I haven't stopped doing Mardi Gras. I haven't stopped. Like, I already have my 2025 sketches done. We have the theme, obviously, so it's like we've already moved on to next year.
If you're just tuning in, my guest today is Kristin Delaney, the captain of the crew of Iris, the largest crew in Carnival. Yeah, that is incredible. I mean, you have to. It's such a big organization that you have to work ahead of the curve, or else you're not going to be ready in time.
Right.
So, who decides the themes for you guys? I mean, is that something that you choose, or is there a committee that comes up with that?
Well, I usually choose it, but what I've been doing is I throw it out to lieutenants and members and say, all right, what themes do y'all want to see? And they're so creative, and they come up with fantastic ideas. So it's not me, alone. So yeah, I throw it out to the membership.
And your members, I remember a couple years ago, you guys opened your own den. Did Iris not have a den before that? Or?
No, we didn't have a den. We actually have 2 dens now.
You have 2 dens now?
2 dens, they're right across the street from each other, and they're beautiful. It's our baby, we love it. Just to look and see, wow, how far we've come. When they were just, we were hopping from den to den to den to den, where half of the floats are here, half of the floats are there. Now we have a home for our prized possessions.
Your prized possessions. Yes. Well, and that, it's another sign of how far Iris has come. That now you have your home base. You guys aren't, no longer, transient, moving around all these different places. You have your home base, and I mean, you talked earlier about the things that your great aunt went through back in the day with having parade. But now it really seems like the female crews, I think, have achieved parity really with the traditional male crews. I mean, you guys are the biggest. And I think people look forward to you guys and Muses and Femme Fatale and these other crews as much as they do any organization in Carnival at this point. I mean, do you feel like that? Like you guys have fully arrived, as a female crew, and you have parity with all the male crews at this point?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We like to party just as much as they do.
I do not doubt that.
Yes.
I do not doubt that. I
think sometimes we can be a little worse.
I mean, you guys have a signature vodka now,
yeah,
so I mean that's indicative of something.
Yeah.
Looking down the road, what do you see as the biggest challenges that Carnival will face? I mean, obviously, COVID was devastating. More recently, we've had problems with the number of with the NOPD manpower and having enough officers to man the routes. Seems like they've figured out a solution to that by bringing in officers from other police agencies. So maybe that problem has been solved. But I mean, as you look down the road, what do you see as the challenges that Carnival faces?
Nothing surprises me at this point. So if you had me guess, I would think an alien invasion. You cannot make some of this stuff up. So I like to foresee nothing being a challenge. And if there is, we're New Orleanians. It's in our blood. We don't let anything stop us. And if they do, we change it a little bit, and then we move on to next year. So I don't want to foresee anything bad happening, because I'm confident that whatever it is, that we can overcome it.
That's right. Well, and we've demonstrated that time and time again. I mean, that first Mardi Gras after Hurricane Katrina was, a minor miracle that it was pulled off, but people were determined to do it, and it was a huge shot in the arm for the city as a whole, for the people's mental health, I think, to get out and have Mardi Gras again. So I mean, it's been shown time and time again how important it is. And yeah, bad things happen. Sometimes crime happens along the parade route, or other things happen, but the thing goes on. Mardi Gras goes on. I mean, it's so intricate, so entwined with the spirit of the city that it kind of has to go on, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Even like during COVID, when we didn't have a parade, when none of us could parade, the city found ways that we could actually still have Mardi Gras. Remember, they decorated their houses, so they had house floats. We socially distanced, but we did have our little meetings, and so we kept the spirit alive, in one way or the other. So you can cancel a parade, but you can't cancel Mardi Gras.
That's right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm just admiring your iris earrings, which
Thank you.
you are. You know, you've got iris all over.
Yes.
Do you envision? I mean, being captain of iris until you can't?
Yes.
Until you physically can't?
That's it. And you know, I'm like, oh goodness, the heels are starting to get a little bit lower. You know. But yeah, I plan to do it until, you know, you wheel me out and, you know, I'm looking up from above.
Well, like I said, at the ball recently, your costume weighed how much?
It was 25 pounds.
So you had 25 pounds of stuff on you.
Yes, I did. 25 pounds of stuff. So I'm still a little bit sore from it, you know, so I'm either out of shape or it was a really heavy costume.
So you're wearing 25 pounds of stuff, but you still managed to carry the king's mantle when it fell off?
Yes. So let's talk about little mishaps. The king was walking and doing his presentation, and one of the little pages stepped on the mantle, and it flew off. So the show must go on, right? So I just picked it up and followed him, holding his mantle, and we went around the whole floor, and so the audience got to see his beautiful mantle, and he was a few pounds lighter as he went through.
And you were a few pounds heavier.
And I was a few, more pounds heavy. But that's it. The show must go on.
And as captain, it's your responsibility to make sure it does.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I can't believe you did it. And I said, I couldn't just leave it on the floor, you know, so it's my job.
It's your job.
It's my job.
Rain or shine, you make it happen.
That's exactly right.
Well, I wish you guys great weather this year. I hope you have a great ride. Kristin, Delaney, it's been a pleasure talking to you here. Captain of Iris, like I said, I hope you have a wonderful ride this year.
Thank you. February 10th. I want to see everybody out there.
All right. Get yourself out there. Catch you some sunglasses. I'm Keith Spera from NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune. This has been Let's Talk. Let's talk again next week.